Welcome to episode 146 of Rebirth Revolution. My name is Melissa Olson. Let's wrap up this series on responsibility and resilience with part 4 of our discussion. First, I want to talk about how young children are apt to absorb your words and actions as they apply to the world around you. If something is a big deal to you, it is a big deal to them. If it isn't a big deal, then they probably won't see it as one. If you attach a bunch of emotion to something, you are likely to instill fear in them and create a heightened response. Let's look at the practice of wearing masks during a global pandemic. The parents who were calm about introducing the subject of masks to their children had children who wore one without resistance or drama. Kids don't really care about stuff like that. They care about what their parents care about. Wearing masks was a way to introduce both responsibility and resilience to children. Parents could tell them that we needed to look out for others who were more vulnerable by simply wearing masks. This introduced the concept that they have a responsibility to people in their community, even those who they do not know. This is such an important practice, one that we see sorely lacking in the culture today. If you tell children that they can do something to benefit others, they can develop a sense of accomplishment and pride about having done so. This is character building. But to have it build character, it must be introduced in the spirit intended. Those parents who angrily told their children that they were forced to wear masks worked to create fearful, resentful, and entitled children. These are the kind of children who will grow into the adults who are shouting that no one can make me do anything. In introducing the masks in this manner, they stripped the children of doing something that they could feel good about, which was looking out for those around them who have to rely on their kindness and concern. The wearing of masks was such a simple and reasonable way to approach the pandemic. The way it played out gave us a preview of what we will be dealing with in the next generation of citizens. Some will have been taught lessons of empathy and integrity. Others will have been taught that they are entitled and that empathy and integrity are for suckers. Some children will have an increased sense of responsibility and resilience. Others will have lost ground on those issues. Children care about what you care about. They pick up on your every signal. They know the spirit in which you do what you do. They glean from that the importance or insignificance of your choices. I'm not sure how children are supposed to process the fact that many of their parents were infuriated and marching in the streets about them wearing masks to school while remaining completely silent following the massacres that have taken place in schools. The parents' reactions would indicate that masks are worse than children being murdered. How are they supposed to process that? One of the most difficult things about parenting, along with being the most important, is that you are given many chances daily to shape your children and influence their level of spiritual awareness through the ways that you handle day-to-day challenges. It doesn't only happen through major events like the pandemic. It is happening when you spill a glass of milk. It is happening when you are running late. It is happening when the dog pees on the carpet. Your response to everything that happens in life shows children how to move forward or backward on the spectrum of awareness. They are always watching. We've talked about how we teach responsibility and resilience to our children, but we also need to talk about how our children teach us those character traits. As we have discussed, some children come into this world at lower levels of spiritual awareness than their parents, and some children come in at higher levels of awareness than their parents. Those children came to teach. They came to raise the parents' and elders' levels of awareness. What does that even look like? We know that children need to be taught the rules of being human on this planet, but that doesn't mean that they do not already possess some very valuable information that we need to know so that we can grow. What they know spiritually, they bring with them. They are not blank slates. It is entirely possible that in matters of spiritual awareness, they know more than we do. It also means that they come in with fresh eyes, not those that have been conditioned to accept life here as it is. This arrangement doesn't always sit well with adults. Adults like to think of themselves as being heads and shoulders above their offspring in all ways at all times. But that may not be the case. Many adults will bristle when a child points out that they are doing something that lacks integrity, such as lying. Children will want you to treat them with empathy, even when you're not feeling it. Children will gladly point out when you have wronged them. Children will act as one of your greatest forms of checks and balances. They like to be your accountability. This doesn't thrill all parents. They may see it as challenging their authority, and I suppose it is, but it's entirely possible that they came here to teach you, and that is an enormous gift. In a family system, you may have one child who is here from higher levels, who is just unable to mold themselves into a toxic system. They will take exception with and point out all the family patterns that lack honesty, integrity, empathy, and humility. This tends to make them unpopular with the rest of the family. But if there is that one person who sticks out, you need to ask yourself if they are seeing something important that the rest are missing. Are they simply complaining, or are they asking everyone else to step up? I am observing that there are many young people on the planet right now who are doing a great job of questioning the systems that have been in place for lifetimes. They point out the existence of systems that need a full reworking, instead of joining us in tolerating those systems and complaining about them. I get that that can feel challenging, and it also can feel a bit embarrassing because we know they are right. We have found ways to cope with some of the actions and attitudes of others that are toxic when we should have been shutting these ways down. What matters is that we make this place better. What matters is that we get better. It's not about who points it out or how they point it out. We need to mine all the wisdom that is out there, no matter who is in possession of that wisdom. We can handle the truth. Thanks for returning for another week of Rebirth Revolution. I hope you are feeling reasonably peaceful as you watch events unfold around you. There may be added chaos as much needed accountability becomes part of the news. We are here for the unfolding. We are here for the truth to bubble to the top. Not everyone will be happy as it does, but this is all necessary. There is nothing that those at the lowest levels of spiritual awareness hate more than accountability. Rebirth Revolution can be found on all the podcast apps, the music apps, and full episodes play on our YouTube and Facebook pages. You can find all episodes on rebirthrevolution.com. Please download, rate, and review wherever you can. Until next week, start dreaming of fall, which is just over a month away. Get ready for warm drinks and cozy sweaters. Stick with your COVID precautions and mind the wisdom of everyone around you. Remember, you are loved exactly as much as every other person on the planet, not 1 ounce more or 1 ounce less. Stay strong and safe and peaceful.